labor rights in these industries. Workers' arms are being cut off, workers are being killed, and there is no response whatsoever. They are not being paid. So, Right Honorable Speaker, as we celebrate this day, emphasis should be put on enforcing the rights of these workers. Right Honorable Speaker, we passed the employment bill. The employment bill was returned. However, the Committee on Gender, Labor and Social Development is facing a challenge that we do not have this bill before us. So we cannot go forward on this bill. The OSH bill is still under process, and it's one of the issues that are going to really cater so much for the labor rights that we are celebrating tomorrow. Right, Honorable Speaker, lastly, as we celebrate this day, we should really look so much at the laborers, because the workers are not going to be able to go to the celebration grounds, but they have rights that need to be enforced. They have issues that need to be worked on. And access to labor justice is very crucial, Right Honorable Speaker. We have industrial courts. However, so many of our workers do not know that these industrial courts exist. They do not know that they can run to these courts to access justice when they get issues. Mechanisms of reporting cases. Right Honorable Speaker, I think we need to come up with an online system, because workers cannot keep running to Kampala, running to the courts. But if there is an online system that can ensure that these workers can report their cases, and these cases can be fast-tracked by any person, it will be really good to ensure enforceability of these rights. Information from my fellow minister. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
In addition, thank you so much for giving way, Shadow Minister for Labour. In addition to what she has already said, also can this country be updated on the matter of minimum wage? Because we shall not talk about justice when we've not yet at any one time put the minimum wage for all those workers down there who are really suffering and they cannot yield anything out of their sweat. Thank you for giving way.
As I conclude, Right Honorable Speaker, and thank you for giving way, as she has mentioned, the most important thing to curb the exploitation of workers, Right Honorable Speaker, we have workers, people who do the same kinds of jobs, but they are receiving meager salaries, and their fellow colleagues are receiving more. We are pushing for the minimum wage bill. It's about time that government ensures that this minimum wage bill is brought on table, we discuss it, and we deal with this issue of inefficiency in wage payment once and for all. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I wish you a blessed Labor Day.
Thank you, workers.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues. I want to thank the Minister for coming up with a statement and indeed the theme of this International Labour Day. Right Honorable Speaker, workers are very critical in the development of any economy. And one scholar, Adam Smith, in his book The Wealth of Nations, remarked that workers are the value of stores, are the stores of values. Meaning that without actually handling workers' issues, the economy cannot grow in the right direction. Right Honorable Speaker, what is important about this is that we need to focus and look at the implementation of the laws in our shelves. One such law is the Public Service Negotiating, Consultative and Dispute Settlement Machinery Act of 2008. This act in itself is one of the core issues. Under Section 3, it says every nation of government, ministries, department shall have what we call a consultative committee, which is a court of first instance. Right Honorable Speaker, there are gaps in implementing this law, which has caused grievances in a number of workplaces. And in the instance, you find that most of these fights have resulted into compromising on service delivery, because of most of the money is going to compensation of court cases. I pray that as a matter of urgency, Right Honorable Speaker, you'll be pleased to allow me move a motion without notice that we need to profile all these other laws and ensure that at least the implementation done at an appropriate time I could do that. So, Right Honorable Speaker,
you want to profile all the laws that you made.
Right Honorable Speaker, the number of laws. Actually, there is a saying that the laws are made in Uganda and implemented elsewhere. That actually defeats logic, Right Honorable Speaker, and the purpose. Like that law I've just mentioned, Right Honorable Speaker, if that law was implemented in this country, we would actually have increased productivity, industrial harmony, and all would be well in our economy. I beg to thank the Minister and thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I really invite members to move to Fort Portal and celebrate together. And I urge that tree planting, as you emphasized, Right Honorable Speaker, be emphasized this Labor Day celebration so that we plant more trees to avert the drastic effects of climate change.
Charles.
Thank you.
Charles.
Thanks very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And I want equal to
If
thank
you don't
my
allow
minister
these workers to speak,
for that information
they may not be
paper
voted
which
in
she has
again.
just given. Right Honorable Speaker, let me start by collecting this. We normally say celebrations of the Labor Day. In the real sense, they are not celebration. We commemorate the death of those who struggled for the workers. Otherwise, if we are to celebrate, we have to put a list of achievements of what we have achieved. But nevertheless, we do both at the same time. Right Honorable Speaker, it's good that you have just talked about Rubowa. I'm not bringing the Rubowa case here now, but I want to use it as an example. And the theme is access to labor justice. If the whole leaders, leader of opposition, members of parliament could be denied to enter, how do you expect the workers' leaders to enter industries? And I think this is why we need to concentrate. So when we are there, we shouldn't simply speak, but we should put action in what we want to implement. Right Honorable Speaker, you heard about the Shadow Minister talking about the industrial code. Of recent, we had a workshop. We are complaining that we should, say time we come with the industrial code of appeal. Because all cases in the industrial code, 3/4 are won by the workers. But after that, they appeal to other colonial courts. And there the workers will never achieve anything. I think if we are to save the workers of this country, we need another mechanism in order to achieve that. My colleagues talked about the minimum wage. But I think this side is about protection of the investors, not the workers. Because minimum wage, wherever we have gone, it's a requirement. It has nothing to do in deterring the investors from coming. It's just a benchmark, a lowest point that don't exploit where you have gone. That's what the meaning of the minimum wage. But it's now history, we have repeated that. Some of us, we are no longer singing it because it seems it's impossible to implement. And my prayer, my colleagues now, that you are being invited to come on this Labor Day, wherever you'll be, either in Fort Portal or in your districts. Let us all come and work together and protect the laborers of this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the Minister and the Shadow Minister for the two statements they have made. However, we have a number of regulations already made under the labor laws. Not all labor laws have the regulations, but a number of them have. Right Honorable Speaker, even last week you talked about the issue of regulations. We have already made a precedent in this House. When we were passing the NSSF amendment bill, we asked the government that they should come up with regulations within 60 days. They came up with regulations. But one of the regulations was not as was recorded before Parliament. And that particular item has not yet come back. I'm just trying to wonder whether we can use this precedent that whatever law we pass here, we give a time limit as to when government shall come up with the regulations. Because the issue of leaving a leeway to government to come up with regulations, that's why some laws have no regulations for 20 years. I suppose that we should either give 90 days for every law to come up with regulations. You can imagine now that we have gone through this RAPEX, very many laws have been amended, but we have left a leeway. If we don't give it a blanket that within 90 days regulation shall come, even these RAPEX laws we have passed are going to have problems.
Thank you.
Mine was general, and thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Is Eji here? Attorney General? What we need, government, we need regulations to all the laws that we are passing.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to thank the Honourable Minister for the statement, but seek her clarification, especially when she gives a theme like this one on increasing access to labor justice. The fundamental question would be, is the government preaching what about drinking wine? Especially if you were to prosecute the recent selective salary enhancement of teachers. Wouldn't you see the injustice that has been occasioned on teachers of art subjects after directives were lopsided to increase discriminatively salaries for science teachers? And this, Madam Speaker, has had a very disastrous impact on education. Quality education is no longer being dispensed to our children because it is a demotivator on this part of the labor force, the arts teachers. So for one, to claim that there is an increasing access to labor justice when there is discrimination on part of a section of some of the laborers would be a vice. That has been information I'll give you that I've had in this century. Madam Speaker, the minimum living wage is a serious issue. I know the President declined to assent to it in the 10th Parliament, but this Parliament has powers that are enshrined in the Constitution. I'm of the considered view, Madam Speaker, that we would revive this law and have it passed, because almost in East Africa or Africa, a country that has the cheapest labor that is exploited is Uganda, Madam Speaker. And that's why you see these investors that are in Uganda, whatever the case. Information.
Attorney General.
Thank you.
Attorney General.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. An issue arose as to whether we have regulations. They are sending me an index. I will present it here.
Okay.
Just in a few minutes.
Okay. We need regulations for all the laws that are passed in this House, and the sectoral committees must also make scrutiny of all the regulations that are made, whether they're in accordance with the bills that have been passed in this House. We need that. Next.
Item 5, presentation of petitions. 5.1, petition on concerns of project affected persons of the East African Crude Oil Pipeline in Chotera District.
Honourable members, petitions are a vital avenue for citizens to engage with the legislature and to enable citizens to seek for specific remedies from Parliament on a wide range of issues as stipulated under Rule 30 of the Rules of Procedure. I will require the member to present the petition and go straight to the prayers contained in the petition.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I beg to move under Rule 30 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament and present the humble petition of the East African Crude Oil Pipeline Eco Project affected persons in Chotara District. As guided, Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to go straight to the prayers in the petition, where the humble petitioners pray that the Parliament, through the Committee on Environment and Natural Resources, conducts an inquiry into the allegations raised by the petitioners of unfair, to ensure the protection, fair and timely compensation for the project affected persons, which occurred during the process of compensation, and this was contrary to Article 26 of the Constitution that calls for adequate and prior compensation. Here too, your humble petitioners have appended their signatures. I beg to submit, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honourable Member. Pursuant to Rule 36 of the Rules of Procedure, and considering the urgency of the matter, the petition is duly referred to the Committee of Natural Resources and equally to the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development for expeditious consideration and report back to the House and report back to the petitioner. So we are going to handle it two-way. We'll have a
of the rules of procedure of Parliament. I present a petition from the residents of Kolobuwanyi Village in Antabulirwa Parish, Goma Division, Mukono Municipality in Mukono District, and your humble petitioners, Right Honorable Speaker, do pray that Parliament intervenes in matters and investigates the conduct of Uganda Railway Corporation for failure to compensate the petitioners. That too, Parliament urges government to pay compensation to the residents affected by the refurbishment of the old meter gauge railway line between Kampala and Nammanve as promised by Uganda Railway Corporation. That three, that Uganda Railway Corporation confines its activity within the agreed 10 meters of either side of the railway line as agreed upon between itself and the residents affected by these works between Kampala and Nammanve. And your humble petitioners are duty bound and will ever pray, and here too have appended their signatures totaling to 317 people. I do therefore pray that you allow me, Madam Speaker, lay their petition on table.
Thank you. Pursuant to Rule 36 of Rules of Procedure and considering still the urgency of the matter, the petition is duly referred to the Minister of Works and Transport for expeditious consideration and report back in 2 weeks, and also referred to the Committee of Infrastructure and report back in 45 days. But what they are raising is something very urgent and it must be handled. So you need to visit the locus for you to appreciate what is happening.
Item 5.
Right, Honorable, I thank my colleague. I was consulting somewhere, then I saw her come on the floor. The report is ready, and we have been doing some work together with the leadership. We have not just been sitting, we have some information that I will be very happy to fill the house in with what we have done and what needs to be done.
Had you got the petition before?
The moment I read from our agenda that this was coming, I consulted, because we have been working on the PAPs of URC. We have been working. It is work that we have been undertaking. We are not where, I know that she has raised it, so we are going to handle it.
What you need to do, Honorable Minister, take the petition, do exhaustive analysis, look at all what is being raised, and then you report back. You can even report back in one day. We don't mind, but so long as it is from the petition. Next.
Item 5.3, petition of residents of Njeru Municipality and Jinja City against the threat of land grabbing and eviction.
Honorable Batua.
Item 6, motion for a resolution of Parliament to authorize government to borrow up to euros 110,543,947.52 from Standard Chartered Bank to finance the Kitgum-Kidepo Road Upgrading Project.
Honorable members, as you may recall, on the 18th April 2024, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development tabled a proposal for borrowing to finance the upgrade of Kitgum-Kidepo Road, that is 115.8 kilometers road, which is a very valid connectivity between Acholi and Karamoja sub-region. And after that connectivity, you'll find Honorable Felix Okot will say there is equity. And it also connects to South Sudan. The same road connects to South Sudan. In addition, it's a vital catalyst for realization of a huge tourism potential. That is Makshan Falls and Kidepo Tourism Circuit. That is that road. As a requirement of Article 1592 of the Constitution of Republic of Uganda, 1995, and Rule 155 of Rules of Procedure, I now invite the Minister of Planning and Economic Development to move a motion to which we will receive a report, and if the report is not ready, we'll have a report of the, we'll debate on the report of the whole House. Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, I beg to move a motion to authorize government to borrow up to euros 110 billion 543 million 947.25 approximately United States dollars 117.26 million from the Standard Chartered Bank to finance the Kitgum-Kidepo Road Upgrade Project. And Madam Speaker, this motion is moved pursuant to Article 159 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, Section 36 and 39 of the Public Finance Act, and Rule 155 of our parliamentary rules of procedure. I beg to move, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Is it seconded? Seconded by Honorable Minister of Lands, Karamoja, Sironko, Honorable Bua PPS and the Honorable Honorable Mona, Honorable Silwanyi, by the whole house. People want the roads to be worked on. People want connectivity between Karamoja, Lango, Acholi. People want, Honorable Nambeshe, people want connectivity of these roads. People want tourism roads to be worked on. And there is always an aspect, how come only one region is tarmacked? Now we are exercising equity, and equity is coming here. And this house is a very important house. Much as we may not have a, Honorable Kema, Mr. Kema. Honorable Minister, Government Chief Whip, you want to justify? Please do.
Madam Speaker, the project has the following benefits. Number one, the road project will greatly stimulate and support local economic activities by improving connectivity in socio-economic facilities, reducing road maintenance costs, vehicle operating costs, and travel time in the Karamoja sub-region. Number two, the road will provide a reliable connection to Kidepo Valley National Park, Uganda's third best tourism destination, and promote regional development in the Karamoja sub-region. Number three, the road will also improve access to rural economically productive areas and thereby contribute socio-economic development, poverty reduction, regional and national integration, and stimulate and support local economic activities by reducing transport costs and travel time along the existing gravel road. Number four, the road upgrading intervention will offer a safe, secure, and environmentally sustainable, reliable, and dependable transport system on the road that meets the needs and aspirations of the national road sector. Madam Speaker, the updated economic analysis which we carried out in January 2022 showed that the road is economically feasible for upgrading to paved standard. The analysis yielded an economic internal rate of return of 17.1% and economic net present value of $30.604 million. Madam Speaker, I wish to also present to the House the project cost and the financing arrangements. The total project cost is approximately Uganda shillings 379.1 billion, exclusive of VAT, of which 95% will be funded by the Standard Chartered Bank and 5% will be funded by Government of Uganda. The cost of the road per kilometer is Uganda shillings 3.2 billion, and the government contribution will be utilized for the payment of taxes, project implementation, and acquiring the right of way for the project. The following are the detailed terms. Project cost I had mentioned, we are borrowing in euro, 95% of the project costs, which is 96 million euros, and we have the insurance cost of 14.5 million euros. The maturity period is 13 years, including 3 years of grace period. The period for the loan I have mentioned is 3 years. And the interest rate is 6 months Euribor plus 1.1% margin per annum, and the management fees is 1.45% calculated on loan amount paid upfront, and the commitment fee is 0.3% on withdrawn loan amount, and the facility agency fees is euros 20,000 per annum. Madam Speaker, with this satisfactory information, I would like to appeal.
Can you people wait and the minister finishes?
Madam Speaker, I have provided sufficient and necessary information
Honorable Nathan,
that we
today you're
require
very
to
smart in
pass
this
this loan, and I would like to invite colleagues to debate with the view of supporting my position that this loan be considered by
Thank
Parliament.
you, thank you. Government Chief Whip. Government Chief Whip.
Honourable Speaker, I have something to raise quickly. This matter was referred to a committee by yourself to interrogate. You see, we want roads to be fixed, we want service delivery to happen in various ways. We must be able to interrogate the question of borrowing. Our debt burden is about 100 trillion shillings and continues to grow. The reason these matters are sent to committees is for the committee to interrogate a couple of things. The agreement, because many times people in government enter into problematic agreements. We've seen that in committees. That's the place of the committee to interrogate and then advise this House. Is this the best option to take? Is this the best place to borrow this money from? Or whatever the case might be. But we are learning the committee did not be able to do this work. Maybe through you, Right Honourable Speaker, the committee needs to help us understand what happened. Because you referred this matter to the committee, I've interacted with some members of the committee who say they have been waiting for the chairperson to invite them for a committee meeting, and that has not happened. So we don't know if the committee leadership has abdicated its responsibility on this matter, Right Honourable.
Honourable Lob, me and you, we are the leaders of these committees plus Government Chief Whip, and this House will not be delayed from working because we don't have very active committee members like Nathan. We don't have those whatever, but let Honorable Bua come up. Just a minute.
Madam Speaker, I want procedure. Madam Speaker, I want you to go for training school. Relax. Procedure is...
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, Honourable Nandalama Fab is one of the senior legislators in this country.
One of the best chairpersons.
And one of the best chairpersons, and one of the people that we look to and admire. Our rules are clear that a speaker is listened to in silence. Right Honourable Speaker, when Honorable Nandala was asking for procedure, you said wait a minute. But before waiting for a minute, he was already on the microphone. Is Honorable Nandala Mafabi in order to grab a microphone instead of listening to the speaker first before he picks, so that we emulate what he does, or he wants us to emulate that you can grab the microphone.
No, I had given a government chief whip to give us a position on what could have happened and what is his plan. By the way, where we are, this is a committee of a whole house. This is a committee of a whole house. The other committees work for and on behalf of this house. Government Chief Whip.
Right, Honorable Speaker. In lieu of the issue raised by the Honorable Leader of the Opposition and the justification given by the Minister of Finance, I rise under Rule 16 of the Rules of Procedure of this House to move that Rule 155, Sub-Rule 3 and Sub-Rule 4 be suspended for consideration of Item 6 on the order paper for today.
Is it seconded? Seconded by Okwiri, by Okwalinga, by all the ministers, by Honorable Elwelu, by Honorable Alanyo. Yes? Would you speak to your suspension? Yes, Hajat.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we have ably heard from the Leader of Opposition that the matter was sent to a committee, and you have also agreed that you and him and the Leader of Government Business lead these committees. And we have not heard from the chairperson.
We supervise.
You supervise the committees.
Yes.
And we have not heard from the chairperson of the committee to tell us why they've not been able to process this work. Isn't it procedure right, or Right Honorable Speaker, that we hear from the chair of the committee, or the deputy chair, or a member of the committee to explain to us why they've not been able to process that the work that was sent to their committee and give us a report in time? I beg your guidance.
Honorable, in the absence of the report, that's why you find that the person responsible, the people responsible, the chair and vice chair, you're just like me, chair and vice chair.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Let's hear from Government Chief Whip. Those are his chairs.
But he's not a member of the committee.
Those are his chairs. Let him finish justifying why he's suspending the rule. Nathan.
Right, Honorable Speaker. The rules of procedure of Parliament are here to guide us, and committees of Parliament process each and every business on behalf of this House. Where the committee, through the leadership, is unable, like I received information that both the chair and the vice chair of this committee are not available, and they have not delegated any member of the committee as required under the rules of procedure. I felt it befitting that since committees of Parliament play delegated roles on behalf of this House, I felt it befitting that we move under Rule 16 to suspend the rule that requires committees to report, such that the House can consider this matter owing to the fact that this is a non-road, it is a tourism road, and we are going to prioritize the roads, starting with tourism roads, And this is a multi-year project where Parliament will still have the oversight role to go and see, to go and monitor, to go and evaluate the progress made. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that this House considers my proposal to have the said rule suspended such that the House can take a decision on behalf of the committee that plays a delegated role. I beg to move.
Honorable members, I want you to listen. This road has been in the process for over 2 years. Over 2 years. Honorable Echeru has been responding on this road. 6 years. Honorable Echeru, no, let's get information.
Right Honorable, I came to the ministry 3 years ago and found the question of Kitgum-Kidepo Road had been persistent, and this House decided to put it in the tourism roads, and we are processing this as one of the tourism roads. I want to tell this House that we are coming back for more tourism roads, but this is just the beginning.
Honorable members, just a minute. Honorable members. First seat. Ginger Express. Honorable Echeru, if you are not going to bring Ginger Express Highway, we will do what you want us to do, like this. Honorable members, I have said this is not something that is crucial. Honorable members,
enough is enough.
Now when you continue talking, we shall first keep quiet and do the listening. You bring, let's first wait. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we are getting scant information about the committee.
Honorable, you first wait. I know you're my voter. You first wait.
And the chair of the committee is from my district.
Yes.
So I'm interested
Honorable
in knowing.
members, it is a tourism road connecting for the first time. Northern Uganda is getting connected. And you are the same people who have been complaining that there are no roads on that side. I now put a question that the motion for a resolution of Parliament to borrow, of Parliament to authorize government to borrow up to it is suspended. 110,543,947.52 from Standard Chartered Bank to finance